so we're now going to be looking at question 6, okay, of the paper. And question 6 states that here is some information about the time spent on social media by 40 women and 40 men last week. Okay, so here's the table, and we've got the number of women and the number of men as well. And we need to tick one box for each statement. Okay, so that means that each of these 3 statements, we need to pick either one of these. Definitely true, might be true, or cannot be true. That means we need to test out each of these statements. Okay, so let's look at the first one. It says the 3 of the women spent more than 11 hours on social media. Okay, so that means, because it's saying 11 hours, and we're looking at the woman now, so we're looking at this one. And we're looking at the hours, okay, that have been spent more than 11 hours. So we need to check, is it actually 3 or not? So what we can do is take a look at our intervals over here, and then we can see which ones refer to over 11 hours. Okay, so it can be it doesn't say can equal 11 hours, but yeah, it just says spent more than 11 hours. Okay, so that means we're going to be looking at this box over here, so the 2 as well as the 1. Okay, so we're looking at these 2 over here, and this is because they're both more than 11. Okay, these are the only 2 options, so therefore we're going to be doing 2 add 1, okay, which gives us 3. So that is actually true because it's saying 3 of the women, so that's going to be definitely true. Okay, there's no scope of it not being true. And then the next one says the range for the men is 15 hours. Now, the range is a funny one because we've got grouped frequency data, okay, so you can see we can't exactly know, we can't really have an exact value for the range with grouped data, okay. Because with range we're doing the highest, take away the lowest value, and we don't know exactly how many of these 4 men, for example, were spending, you know, let's say 11 hours or 12 hours or 13 or 14 hours in this time interval. So we can't really work that out, but what we can do is we can work with the information that we have. So we can see that there's 0 number of men that took around more than 14 hours, but less than or equal to 17 hours. So that should be coming in that, but we can already know that the range cannot be 15 at all because all of the men are less than 15 hours. They took less than 15 hours anyway. So that definitely cannot be true. And I'm using a different color pen just to differentiate between the 3 different statements. Okay, so that one can't be true because of this piece of information over here. Okay, and then finally the last one, the women have a higher median than the men. Now that what we need to do is a little bit of work. What I would do is just extend my table, okay, and thankfully we've already got a line separating them down the middle, and I'm going to call this the cumulative frequency for the women. Okay, and I'll explain why I'm doing this, and then the cumulative frequency for the men. Okay, and all cumulative means, if you've done your revision for group frequency tables, is just us adding the frequency as we're going along. Okay, because to work out the median, I need to be knowing what the cumulative frequency is so that I can find out which of these time intervals contain the median value for both. Okay, and we know that the total is 40 for both of them. So I'm just gonna do that here as well, but again I want to use a different pen for this question. So the totals are 40, just so that we remember, and then now I'm going to work out the cumulative frequency. So for women it starts off with 12, and I'm just going to add each column as I'm going down. Okay, so 12 at each row, 12 plus 11, it gives me 23. 23 plus 14, we've got 37. 37 plus my 2 gives me 39, and 39 plus 1 gives me 40. Okay, you'll know if you've done it right if your last value is getting to the total that they've already stated. And then next, moving on to the men, it's 10 to start off with, plus 17 gives me 27, plus 9 gives me 36, plus 4 gives me 40, and then that is just 40 plus nothing is 40 because they've got no value for the last one. So yeah, so that's the cumulative frequency done. And now to work out the median value, okay, so which interval contains the median value, what we need to do is take our total, okay, of 40, add 1 to it, and then divide it by 2, okay, and half it. So that gives us 41 over 2, and half of 41 is 20.5, and like that just means the 20.5th value for both men and women is going to be the median amount of hours that they've spent. Okay, now we need to work out where is that median value going to be. So the way to do that is just look at my cumulative frequency, okay, and see where does the 20.5th value land in that. So let's look at the women's column, and we can see that 20.5 should be here in the second one, so that means it's around here somewhere, okay. And then for the men again as well, that's 10, so that's lower than 20, and this is 27, so that means again for the men as well it's going to be here. So all that means is that both of the median values lie here. Now we don't know exactly what the median time is, so they've said that the women have a higher median than the men, okay. So that might be true, okay. We can't say definitely that that's false, that cannot be true. It might be, okay. It could be that the women have got 8 hours as a 20.5th value, and the men have got like 6 hours, okay. So we can just tick might be true for that one, okay. And that is all of the statements done.